Welcome back to All Up in Your Business. I'm your host, Kaylee Bain, and this is the show where we pull back those curtains and we really get to know the story behind the things you hear and see. This could be local businesses, thought leaders, nonprofits, really all those things. And today we are talking with Joe Arnao. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing great. I'm doing
Awesome. Well,
great.
thanks for being here today. I am super pumped. We haven't talked in a little while. Fun story about me, I used to do marketing for real estate agents, and I used to work at an association, and that's actually how I got to know
That's
Joe.
right.
We kind of worked a little bit here and there, like once in a while too, which was always fun.
Yep.
But yeah, so tell us a little bit about your business.
All right.
Listen, all things about it.
So it's called 4W Strategic Consulting. And I've taken 20 plus years of being in the real estate business and created this company that takes all the fun parts that I like to do. And now I work with real estate agents and actually small business owners. And I help them get focused on who they are or what they're trying to accomplish. I help them put in systems, gain leverage if they need that. And then I get them up and running with having accountability and systems in place, usually about a 90-day period. That's one piece. And the other piece, which I'm way more passionate about, is having been a recruiter for a long time in the real estate world. And actually, I had been one in the past for IT. I've realized in the real estate world, there are so many agents that don't know their own value and they don't take the time often enough to really evaluate what they need when they're picking their brokerage. Now, first-time agents, they don't know enough to even have an idea. So they go where they're going to go. Agents that are productive and they're actually doing their business, yet they're not chugging away at the speed they want to, and they want to hit the next level, those are the ones that I can help. And I've built an assessment that helps them understand where they belong in the industry. Should they be an on-site agent? Should they be on a team? Should they lead a team? Should they lead a company? Whatever their strengths are, we evaluate that, and then we sit down and we chat. And I have my questions where I evaluate what they need. We cover really where they want to go and what they need from a brokerage to help them build a business the way they want to build it. And then I help to place them. I have a vast knowledge of this market, who the players are. I have agreements with several brokerages that I may or may not deliver to, because that's all about the agent. So if the agent is good for one company, I'm only going to deliver that agent to that company, and they'll interview. The companies love it because I'm delivering agents that fit their culture, need their structure, and it works. And the companies compensate me. The agent it doesn't cost the agent anything. So to me, it's a no-brainer for every agent to be lining up at my door. The challenge is no one's doing this. It's a completely new approach for real estate agents to go this way. They usually wait for the recruiter to call them, or they follow a friend, or they see something that catches their attention. Too many of them don't sit back, figure out what they really need, and then look at the broad market of what's available. So that is one mountain I'm climbing, and that's educating the agents and getting to trust me. That's the hardest part.
And then remind me, how long have you been like in the real estate world?
I started in 2003, so it's been a bit.
Okay.
And my first gig was I opened up a brokerage for a developer. Shortly after, that was 2000. Then in 2007, as we started to see things going downhill, I opened up my own firm in 3 different states.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a challenge,
I
and
bet. It's crazy.
lots of lessons in that one. And then I worked for a company called William Ravis. I brought my team over. I just started doing production. Things turned around, like really started cranking out business. And then I got bored. I have this 3-year itch, and I jumped into management because that's what I really love doing. I love coaching. I love bringing up people and helping them grow their business. And that's why I started my own, which just wasn't enough. I couldn't pull that off
Yeah.
in my time frame
And you
and
also have
feed my
partners
kids.
too, right?
Oh, now I do. Yeah. Yeah. when I first moved down from Massachusetts to North Carolina, I started a video show on real estate. So it's really difficult name to remember. It's called The Real Joe Show.
The Real Joe Show. I
Real
love
Joe,
that
the real
name. I
estate, the
think
real,
that's so fun.
that just came out of a brainstorming session that we had at the time. So I did that to get known in the marketplace. And I started interviewing local agents and lenders and insurance and just getting my face out there. And it was great for that. It's been through a few iterations and relaunched in the end of 2024 and really started focusing on like really high-end, high-quality guests. So we're really looking at people who are doing something different in their business. And so we're talking to real estate agents. We're talking to I've found coaches from around the world that have these incredibly cool approaches to getting people to hit their highest mark. And it's been great. Marketing people, some people in tech, investment options, and things like that. So it's really interesting for me, and I think it has some value for those that I hear from. So
That's
it's
awesome.
fun.
I like being in the real estate world. I think you know a little bit about this, but like with my marketing, I would go to agencies and I would teach them how to use social media and
Hmm.
Canva.
Yeah,
I would do
that's right.
5 week
That's
boot
right.
camps. Like it was so much fun. I usually partnered with Keller Williams or Compass. So those are the ones I'm most familiar with, like how they work. But like always the people that would be in my classes were either like the brand new fresh newbies, like just got their test done, or I had the seasoned agent that had literally no idea anything about social media.
Right.
And so many times I always heard, God, like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm in the right place. Literally everything that you said that you cover, like, I've heard those questions a million times. People being like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I
Right.
wish I knew you at the time, like, when I was doing all that, because these people, I'm like, oh, Joe, just go talk to Joe.
That's
Joe is
right.
your guy.
Yeah, it's cool. So there's limitless amount of ways that someone can build a business in the real estate world. The
Mm-hmm.
challenge is they're being thrown so many different ideas. There's so many shiny objects. People have the quick fix deal, different methodologies to build these multi-million dollar businesses that work for the guy that invented it. Doesn't mean it's going to work for anybody else
Mm-hmm.
at all. So it's not always replicable, and it doesn't fit everybody's nature and the way they work. So that is like the funnest part is really digging in, figuring out what drives that person. What are they like? What do they want to do? How do they want to run their business? And build it around that. It doesn't have to be social media either. And
Mm-hmm.
there are plenty of agents that don't need a presence because they should have a presence of some sort. It's not the driving force in their business. It's like a calling card that's out there.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah.
So then taking a step back, because the whole point of getting all up in your business is to get all up in your bit. Like
Let's go.
what was like your why? Like what made you like really want to get into this? Like what made you want to be an agent? What made you want to be a coach? What is the driving force behind your why?
So way back, I wanted to be that first opportunity was to go into this brokerage. It was family, it was my father-in-law's business, to go into his development business, bring all his listings in-house, which he wasn't doing. So I was bringing money to his company, and I was looking for projects for him. And what else was I doing? I was also doing some general brokerage. So those three things was revenue that he wasn't getting. It would be good revenue for me. I was financially okay to do it. I had money in the bank. So it was a good time to try something different because it's a business. It's not a job. He wasn't paying me. So I was ready for that. It was a very cool experience. And as I mentioned, I got driven back from sales into leadership because that's where my passion is. I like bringing people together and making stuff happen. There's a lot of books out there, The Giver's Gain by the doctor who invented BNI. You give, you gain. I love that philosophy. I've heard many times, if you help somebody make money, you in turn will make money. So that is what drives me, is helping others And that's satisfying in a couple of ways. And it's watching their success and watching the success come back to me too. So that's
Fair.
my why. Yeah, that's the big why of what I'm doing now. It's, yeah.
I resonate a lot with that. Like just watching others succeed, I think is like one of the best feelings ever. Especially like when you get to be a part of that success, like just helping them a little bit, like even if you were just like someone to listen to, someone to give them like a quick piece of advice, or even if you're like their coach. It could be like the littlest thing, but like I had people that would be like, they don't know anything about social media. Like they don't even know like how to record anything, like just nothing. And I'm like, look, just set your phone up. Here's your water bottle. Set your phone up in front of it. Turn the record on and talk to it like you're talking to your FaceTime. Like just talk to it.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get used to it. And then there's this one lady, she was older and she was so sweet. And she's, Kaylee, look at, I did it. I did it. And she'd send me these videos and I'm like, look at you, you're doing it
That's
again.
awesome.
Like she hated the camera, but like
Oh,
even
yeah.
like those little successes, I love watching.
It takes courage.
Hmm.
I just posted Tuesday night, a few nights ago, an article on LinkedIn about one of the guests that I had on my show. And he's a lender, Ed Maloney, out of Cape Cod, Mass.
Mm.
And he is out there. He is so original. He's so himself that he's built this true brand about him being himself. And that's what we were all a walking brand, right?
Hmm.
It's just, do we have the courage to go out and truly be ourselves? And this guy, he nails it. If you get a chance, go to my LinkedIn. And if you're looking for advice on how to build a following,
Hmm.
it's step by step. He
Oh,
really laid it out on a show, and it's cool. So it takes courage. It takes courage to get out there.
it does. And like my mom just became a real estate agent in Myrtle Beach. And so a lot of it is I'm just finding like the biggest issue. There's a lot of issues like people are having, but like the number one in my eyes, just because I think this is my realm, is just recording themselves and then posting it. And I'm like, you can't be scared. Like, I mean, if you never go to do it, then you're never going to do it. And therefore, you're just going to forever be scared. Like, you just have to do the hard thing. And then as
Right.
soon as you do it, you start doing it. Like, that's it.
And it's not like people don't know who they are. They're there every day. Just because it's a camera, they're still
Yeah,
the same person, right?
exactly.
It's
And a
just
lot of people want to use scripts too. And like, I'm very like, I hate to say I'm anti-script just because I'm
mm,
like, you know your story, you know your whole thing more than the other person. Like, why do you need a script about who you are? Like, what are you talking about?
I actually go
And
back and forth on that.
yeah,
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 I recorded some scripted ones just today
mm-hmm.
because I wanted to get a certain message across.
Of course,
So
yes.
now that I've done that, I have four of them.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I've done that, I have the tempo, I have what I want. I probably will not script another one because now I know what I want to say and how I want to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go natural from there. It is
Yeah,
way more fun being natural.
it
Way more
is.
fun.
Like, that's how I am. And so I've been super anti-script forever, right? And then I started working at Walk West. I help people with their podcasts. And so part of it is like I am helping them script some stuff.
Right.
For the right things that can be scripted. So I've kind of learned, like, re-taught my brain, like, okay, like, certain things can be scripted, and this is how you script it, and this is how you read it, and this is how you do it. So the reason I haven't started this podcast for 2 years with this idea is because I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know the messaging I want to do. I was like so in my head about it. And so finally, so many people kept saying, and I think I heard it like one more time and it just hit me but good. They're like, if you never start it, you're never going to start it. Like, just
Right.
start it and then you can go back and fix it later. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to do this. So here we
Good for
are.
you. It's
And
great.
the only like scripted piece, like I did have a whole scripted intro and all that stuff. And I did the first two recordings yesterday, and I'm just like, I had a scripted intro, and it was fine for the first one because it was the first one. But then after that, I was like, this is so not me. This is not me. So today's today's intro was not scripted, and I thought it
Right.
was
It was cool. Right.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I agree. The opening is critical.
Yeah, it
And
really
I
is.
don't script and I stumble sometimes through it. I'm not sure if that, sometimes I feel like I'm losing audience immediately because I'm not fluid enough.
Yeah, and that's like, what's your hook? Do you have the right hook? And like playing with the idea for the podcasting, it's like, do you put that catchy thing that was said somewhere in the podcast at the very front, and then you go right into the show? There's
Right.
so many ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to test all of them just because that's
Good.
what a marketing person does. They do A/B testing, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's
See what
awesome.
does best.
Yeah, we've thought about taking the juicy part, put it in the front, and then do the intro and then lead
Yep.
into it. Too much work.
Yeah.
These things go out. I do it on street. I do them on StreamYard, and they just go out whole, unedited. And then we do edit them for shorts and YouTube. The bulk of it's just put it out there. See what
Yeah,
happens.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's wild. Okay, so going from all of that, so what is, and this could be really however you want to take this, but what was a lesson that you learned either the hard way, whatever way? What is like that one lesson that will always stick with you and you're like you'll never forget that?
In business, there was this one moment, as this is embarrassing now that I look back at it.
Even
And
better.
it was, what's that?
So give me the tea, even better.
Immediately as something came out of my mouth, I knew it was stupid. So it was during the slowdown between 2008, 9, whatever. Not a lot going on. I'm on Cape Cod, where it's a second home market. It's a product that nobody needs. It's a want for the most part. So it was just quiet. And I was at the gym in the middle of the day, which I could do during as entrepreneur and being out and all that. I would be able to do that, which wasn't abnormal. And I was there, and there's this one guy, strong businessman. He's in the real estate world in multiple levels. And he goes, Joe, how's it going? I goes, hey, I'm here. Might as well do this. There's nothing else going on. And as soon as I said that, I was like, why did I say that? So now when I'm coaching somebody and when I'm coaching myself, I make stuff happen. You got to go out and make it happen. And
Mm-hmm.
there's so many agents in markets where it's slow and they don't figure it out, or they stay trapped because of the market. And it's them. It's them. It's their mindset. Because there's business out there. There are people selling and buying all the time. It's just a matter of getting a bigger piece of it and doing more that you would do. Is it harder? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it there? It's there. It's there. You got to go find it. I had to switch my entire business model because I was a listing agent and we're in a market where listings weren't moving. So I had to switch my entirety into becoming more prevalent, more invested in the buyer side. And that's when things started to take off. So I stopped. That's the biggest lesson is don't let outside pressures and circumstances control the way I act.
I love it.
That's a constant battle. It's doing something right now, doing something that doesn't exist is in the marketplace and trying to get it out there every day. Am I crazy doing this? Is it something that's actually going to work? I believe it will. Everybody I talk to that is experienced in this marketplace, they think it's a great idea. The agents that I work with in place, they love it. The brokers love it. It's just getting it out there and getting that message out. So
Okay.
that's a daily. Well, what time is it? It's an hourly thing. There's just so much always coming at us, and it going back to that same thought. It's everything's energy, right? Whether it's positive or negative, and it's constantly coming at us. And it's how do we translate that or use that energy? There's a guy that I interviewed. He's a jujitsu guy, and he's a coach, and he applies that jujitsu to his coaching. And part of jujitsu is you use the energy that's coming at you to create the foresight you want. So it's like when that negative energy comes at you, you got to turn it into positive. You got to figure it out. The first thing is that recognizing it, right? And not staying in that mode. There's a lot of tricks out there that
Mm-hmm.
that I use hourly to keep
Yeah.
things going.
Yeah.
But I look like you look at these people that are on top of the world, and we think, oh, they got everything going so great. They're performers or whatever, and then knees are knocking before they go on the stage, and we think they got things easy, and everybody struggles with stuff like that.
Exactly. It's just you have to figure
I
out how
think.
best to manage it, really. And then I'm going to come back to this because that's how I kind of like wrap this all up. But we're gonna come back to this. And I wrote down my questions so I don't forget
Okay.
because I love this topic. Actually, I lie. We're gonna go right into it. I forgot. That's literally the next question because I had the four main questions and we've already gone through most of them. But what is? Oh gosh, I know you would have a million things of advice to give someone. But what is a piece of advice that you would give someone that wants to either go down the same lane as you, or someone that wants to be in the coaching world, or what's like just a
Sure.
piece of advice you'd give people?
Don't follow me.
You're like the third person I've asked this to. And they're like, just don't do what I did because it was
Don't.
awful.
Yeah. Wait till I hit it, and then wait till I figure this nut out, and then maybe follow me. Don't get in this with me right now. It's not fun. It is fun. It's just,
A lot of
it's a
work.
challenge. You got to believe whatever it is you're doing. It's got to be who you are. It's got to be part of you. One of the things I went through, I've done a couple of I had a couple of coaches. Actually, one real coach that I had a couple, the one I'm thinking of, I had two different sessions with her. And one of the things, exercises was to look back at who you were when you were a kid, right? And look at that child and remember what that child felt like. And that child is still you. It's still in us. You're the little kid that you were long ago, good or bad, right? But there's somebody, every little kid deserves that love, and you got to find that. So I did that exercise, and I remembered how I always liked to be around people. I always would be so sad when anybody would leave the house, even if they weren't friends of mine. I would just wanted people around all the time, and I always like to connect people through the years. And I still stay in touch. I have people I stay in touch with, and they constantly say, Joe, you're great at always staying in touch. And I'm constantly connecting people. That's just who I was. At one point when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. And because I like to help people. I thought of the doctor as like, nah, no blood. And then a psychiatrist. And then I met this one girl, and I realized I can't hang around with crazy. I just, yeah, it's like, I just can't do it.
I
Uh,
throw the line at crazy.
yeah, that's not happening. So whatever it is, whatever it is that the person wants to get into, it's got to be part of them. And now I look at back the trajectory of my life and the things that I've done and to where I am right now, what I'm doing, it's a culmination of all the fun, all the things that I've always thrived to do and wanted to do and felt easy doing. So it's got to be in you. It's got to be who you are. That doesn't matter if you're a coach, doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent, doesn't matter if you're any role. It's got to be who you are to be successful at it and to be successful, not financially necessarily, but just comfortable in
Hmm.
your own skin and successful in life. Put it that way.
Yeah, love that. So then going to the other question I wrote down, just because I know plenty of people that struggle with this, and I know they would get a kind of a kick out of it some way. So again, take it as however you want to answer this. But for the people that, the realtors anyways, because you and I know a lot of realtors. And
We do.
so the people that are just getting going, maybe they've been on a team and now they're going solo, or they're trying to think of going solo, they just don't know what to do. How do they overcome that imposter syndrome of like they just don't think they can do it?
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
best way of helping someone through that?
So what I do, I do have a process for that. And it is an assessment where agents have to think through the way they want to run their business. And by doing that, they will get the results of this assessment showing them should they be on a team, should they be a solo agent, should they lead a company, should they be a team leader. It's all those different, there's 5 different categories where they'll fit in certain percentages. And somebody might be a solo agent and have a high mark as a solo agent, and just under that might be team leader. So you can say, okay, I have those attributes, and maybe I can start working towards that.
Mm.
It's really self-examination and talking to get a coach. That was the one thing I wish I had done earlier in my career is get a coach to help me with the business. And the cool thing about the real estate, there's a plenty different types of coaches out there. And you want one, I would recommend, you want one that's going to pay attention to the way you want to run the business, the way the agent wants to run their business, not to their style, not to the coach's style or the coach's methods. How do you want to run your business? Again, it goes back to being who you are and to be authentic.
I love that. So if someone's looking for a coach that pays attention to them versus how the coach is, like what's like good questions that someone can ask them to like figure that out?
But what's the methodology? Like, how do they coach? Do
Okay.
is it either, are you training me on how to do specific things? Is it going to be only task oriented? Am I just looking at my numbers every week? Or are you going to be asking me questions of what's getting in my way? Where am I? Where do I actually belong? Am I in the right position? Where am I going? You started like the why. The coach has got to figure out why. I was trained by Mike Staver in the coaching side, and he was all about, he could coach any industry, and I'm trained in that same way. So it's all about getting into what is driving the person, what are they trying to accomplish? Again, what's getting in the way? And it's asking those questions to get them to figure it out. The coach can't tell you how to grow. It has to come from inside, and it's the coach that has to get that out of you.
Yeah.
In those tasks, if they're focused on one methodology, they're basically trainers. They're not coaching. They're trainers. And if you look at a team, a sports team, they're trainers and they're coaches. So
That's so true. I never
which
really thought
one?
about that.
Yeah, I just thought of that this second.
That's a really good one.
Truly.
You're gonna stick with that. No, that's great. I love that because again, like I know a lot of people who could use it, but they wouldn't know like how to ask it or what to ask, or they won't even know if they need one. But I think that'd be really good to
Well,
help
they
people
need
get out of
one.
their own head.
They need one. Everybody needs one.
Yeah,
In
oh,
any
100.
business. 100%. 100%. And if not a coach, they need to have someone that's beyond a friend, someone that is successful beyond where they are, and possibly a whole different business that's willing to give and really listen and ask the questions and not and be brave. That coach has to be brave to get asked those questions that are going to make that person potentially cry.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
It's you got to do that.
No, I love it. I love a good cold halt. As much as I hate it, also, but getting like the honest truth when and you're just like so blunt. It's, oh my god, like you're so right, but damn.
My one of the coaches, Larissa Haynes, actually recorded some of our sessions, and it was painful to be there in person and super painful to watch it again. And she put it up. She put a few of them up on LinkedIn, and it's hard. It's hard. The questions that are going to move somebody are the hard ones to ask, and nobody can ask them of themselves. No one's going to come up at that question and ask the question honestly and answer it honestly.
It's very true. All right. While we wrap this up, tell us first off, where can people work with you? Is it just the Raleigh area? Is it
No,
beyond? Tell
yeah,
us
no,
how
I
to
have. It's
find you.
anywhere. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. For the coaching side, I can be anywhere. I do all of it virtually, which is beautiful for everybody. You don't have to travel. It's just boom, half an hour, and where we get stuff done. And so that can be anywhere. On the placement side, right now, it's North Carolina. And that's where my market is at this point. Yeah, but the coaching it's all fun. To me, it's a blast, all of it. So,
Oh, absolutely. And where can people find you on social media, LinkedIn, all the things?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Real Joe Show, if they want to watch that, that's on. There's the Real Joe Show Facebook, the Real Joe Show YouTube, under my name, Joe Arnao. And then there's my LinkedIn, Joe Arnao, and Instagram, Joe Arnao. 4W Strategic Consulting is the company name. The bedrock, my favorite would be LinkedIn, because that's where everything comes together for the most part.
Agreed.
And yeah, because I put the shows on there too.
Perfect. All right, cool. All of Joe's handles, everything's going to also be in the show notes. So if you don't remember what he said, you can just go to the show
Yeah.
notes and click it there. But thank you so much, Joe, for
This has been great.
taking this time with me. I'm so excited. I finally could like sit down with you and pick your brain a little bit, get to know you and your business, and get all up in your business as
I
we're.
love it. I love it.
All right,
It's good
great.
stuff, Kaylee. Congrats on this, and I look forward to listening to a bunch of them.
Thank you. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
that.
having me.
And for everyone listening, again, just go to the show notes to find all of Joe's links. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. And also, don't forget to subscribe and wait for the next episode next week.